The tribunal hall on Kepler 442b fell silent as the footage played. Ambassador David Morrison stood rigid, his hands gripping the podium as images of the New Haven colony filled the screens. Bodies littered the streets. Men, women, children. The Korthax Empire's warriors had been thorough. 20,000 human colonists, including his own brother's family, reduced to statistics in what the Korthax called a territorial dispute resolution. Tears rolled down Morrison's face. The assembled representatives from 47 species watched in uncomfortable silence. The Valari delegates' feathers ruffled dismissively. The Karn's mechanical voice synthesizer clicked with what might have been amusement. They'd seen humans cry before. At every injustice, every tragedy, every loss. Emotional creatures, the galaxy called them. Too soft for the harsh realities of interstellar politics. The humans weep again, Supreme Executor Thax of the Korthax announced, his forearms spread in a gesture of mock sympathy. Perhaps now they'll understand. The strong take, the weak yield. Your tears mean nothing. Morrison wiped his face, his voice breaking. We request. We beg the tribunal for justice. The colony was civilian. There were schools, hospitals. They were archaeologists and teachers, not soldiers. Your begging is noted and dismissed, Thax rumbled. The Korthax Empire recognizes no difference between human variants. You exist in our territory, you face consequences. The human delegation filed out as laughter echoed from several species. The Zafrani ambassador chittered to his aide about water-leaking mammals. The Korthax celebrated with warrior drinks in their embassy. Humanity's tears had become the galaxy's entertainment. 3 months passed. The archaeological teams on New Haven had made a discovery before their deaths. They'd found something in the ancient ruins, something they'd transmitted to Earth in their final moments. The galaxy didn't notice the human traffic patterns changing, the quiet recall of their merchant fleets, the subtle repositioning of their research vessels. Captain Rebecca Martinez stood on the bridge of the HSS Consequence, a ship that technically didn't exist. Humanity had claimed to have no military for the past 50 years, dedicating themselves to science and art. The galaxy believed them. Why wouldn't they? Humans cried at the mere thought of violence. Ma'am, her weapons officer, formerly a concert pianist, reported. The artifact's power signature is stable. Integration complete. The artifact from New Haven, a piece of technology so advanced it made their enemies' weapons look like stone tools. The archaeological team's final gift to humanity. Their death had meaning, even if the galaxy didn't know it yet. All Ghost Fleet vessels report ready, her tactical officer added. 112 ships, built in secret, crewed by humans who trained in simulation for decades while the galaxy mocked their tears. The strike began at 0347 Galactic Standard Time. The Korthax homeworld's defense grid, considered impenetrable, lasted 43 seconds against weapons that phased through shields like they weren't there. The proud Korthax fleet, terror of 17 systems, found themselves facing technology that bent physics in ways their scientists couldn't comprehend. But humanity didn't stop at military targets. They broadcast on every frequency, to every world, in every language. The footage of New Haven played again, but now accompanied by real-time images of Korthax cities being systematically disassembled by weapons that converted matter to energy at the molecular level. Not destroyed, disassembled. Building by building. Block by block. Supreme Executor Thax begged for mercy on open channels. The galaxy watched the four-armed warrior who'd mocked human tears now producing his own equivalent, purple ichor leaking from his optical organs as he pleaded for his species' survival. Please, Thax wailed. We didn't know. We didn't understand. Morrison appeared on every screen, tears still fresh on his face. You're right. You didn't understand. You saw our tears as weakness. But humans cry because we feel deeply. We cry because we value life. We cry because loss hurts us. His expression hardened. And when you hurt us enough, when you mock our grief and multiply our losses, we stop crying and start acting. The disassembly of Korthax infrastructure continued for 7 days. Every military installation, every weapons factory, every ship reduced to component atoms. Their empire of 17 systems became 17 agricultural worlds, incapable of spaceflight for the next 1,000 years. No civilians were killed, but the Korthax wept as they watched their warrior culture evaporate. The Zephrani were next, then the Karn. Each species that had laughed at human tears found their military might vanishing overnight. The galaxy's bullies were systematically defanged by the species they'd considered too emotional to matter. When it was over, humanity's ghost fleet vanished as quickly as it had appeared. The archaeological artifact was destroyed, its secrets dying with it. Humans returned to their art and science, tears still flowing freely at beauty and tragedy alike. But now the galaxy understood. Humans cried first because they felt everything deeply. They mourned because they valued peace. They wept because violence hurt them in ways other species couldn't fathom. And when pushed beyond tears, when grief transformed to purpose, they possessed a fury that made the galaxy's greatest warriors look like children playing with toys. The new galactic saying spread quickly through diplomatic channels. Beware the tears of humanity. For when they stop flowing, yours will begin. Ambassador Morrison stood once more before the tribunal, tears flowing as he presented aid packages for the species humanity had defeated. Even in victory, humans wept for the necessity of violence. The galaxy watched in silence, finally understanding. Humans cried first because they chose to feel rather than suppress. And that emotional depth, that capacity for both tears and terrible resolve, made them the most dangerous species in known space. The tears were a warning. The galaxy had simply been too arrogant to listen.